This week on Erotic Awakening, sex and power exchange with Kevin and Katie, kinky sex with Gen X, and the best meatloaf in Arizona.
Want to attend Dan and Dawn classes but not where we are? Head over to Erotic Awakening Classes on Demand and watch over a dozen classes in the privacy of your own home, or in our home, or in your neighbor's home.
Welcome to Erotic Awakening, an exploration of all things erotic. If you are offended by adult topics or prohibited by law, we recommend you stop listening right now.
We want to thank our latest patron supporters, Sprout
and Mark.
Head over to patreon.com/Erotic Awakening today and get your bonus content and support the show.
Hi, Dan.
Hi, Dawn. This week on the podcast, we are still in the wonderful state of Arizona, visiting with good friends Kevin and Katie, who stopped having sex long enough to do this interview. Hi, guys.
Hang on. Hang on. Hi, Dan.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
So you guys had mentioned a couple of weeks ago something about free use. Tell me about sex in your power exchange. Is it a free use relationship, and what does that mean?
Oh, for me. Look at you wave that over. Yes, it is a free use relationship of me, of Katie. So for Katie, I can use Katie anytime I want for anything I want.
Okay.
I do exercise some tiny amount of restraint if she's cutting up raw chicken or if she has a migraine. Like if for some reason she says, gee, no thanks in a particular instance, I would almost always respect that because I have access to 99.7% of all the time available in our life. And so if for some reason there's some moment that isn't great, I don't require her to say, I have explosive diarrhea, please let's not. I just say, oh, now isn't good for you, that's fun.
That's a pretty rare thing that happens.
I was going to say, I bet that probably is pretty rare.
And if it wasn't pretty rare, there'd be an issue. Like that's
That's see a doctor. It's happening a lot.
It would remove the free use and be, if I was saying that 3 times a week, Kevin would be like,
Right.
say, okay, we need to talk
Oh,
about
if you said it 3 times a year, then
Right.
But the fact that I think what he's trying to say is he's not an asshole about that.
Mhm.
Right.
And
Right.
and then also I am very open and generous to that. No matter what I'm up to, for the most part, raw chicken is a bad idea.
Right.
But yes.
You are happy to be interrupted doing anything, and you take the time to pause and enjoy the experience and let it be exciting to you rather than just stand there and tolerate my attention.
But that's the tricky bit to me is if this what I perceive as a free use situation, is Katie's enjoyment of it important at all?
Only in that I like her pleasure. Mostly I do things because I want to turn her on, or
You want to have an effect on me.
I want to have an effect on her. And so it isn't normally the case that I say, I'm going to do something that gets me off and I don't care about you. We do that game occasionally.
It's pretty hot.
It's fun doing just, this is going to be my quickie and you can just read a book or whatever. I don't care. This is my 7 minutes. But mostly I enjoy interacting with her in a way that is pleasurable for her and getting her off. Like I own her orgasms, and so I often demand many of them through the day.
So, power exchange and sex. We started with that. I'd like to throw out the caveat that not every power exchange has sex.
True.
We are specifically talking with Kevin and Katie, who do have power exchange or authority transfer and sex, and lots of it with a
Lots
free
of
use.
both.
Lots of both.
It's
with the
important,
free use, with the free use, a framework around that, which some people may not have heard of, but now they have. So free use is you get to use her anytime you want to, except for the couple of times that something's just really off wonk. And so
Well, Let me see if that's true. Is the definition simply you get to use her anytime you want? I
Yeah.
mean, you gave us this. Well, if Katie's not feeling it, I probably will be okay with saying no. But it's an option still. There is. Let me ask Katie. Can you say no? Kevin says, "I want sex." Is there any situation where you're allowed to say no? No, thank you. Pass.
That is not true. I cannot say no.
So no is not an
Wait,
option.
no,
it's not
you're
an
allowed to
option,
triple
But
negative.
you're allowed to have voice.
I'm allowed to say
To give him more
"Here's some
information."
information.
Right.
So I still go forward with that,
Right.
whatever it might be. And it might be, oh my goodness, I don't know if you've realized this, but we have 7 minutes to get out the door. Or whatever that thing might be.
And he's like, 5 is all it takes.
Exactly. There's that option too.
3 of them should be with your pants around your ankles.
And I think it's interesting because if you go to Reddit and you look at free use,
Mhm.
and when I first saw that as a Reddit, what is that called? Subreddit. right?
Subreddit.
I thought, oh, cool. But what it mostly is videos of girls playing video games or reading a book while a guy's getting off on her, right?
Right.
And she's often like completely ignoring everything that's going on.
Right.
Which is
Oh.
ignoring porn to me, which is great too. But it's
So bored and ignored is a different kind of porn that's or interaction.
and they call it for use. Yes,
Katie and I think that bored and ignored is also kind of fun, where
that has its place.
Why,
Yes.
whenever we talk about Reddit, you guys tell me about subreddits I've never heard of before because I'm not on Reddit. And now I'm writing things down. Prone bone was one of them.
Yes.
What?
Prone
bone.
Where they're laying flat face down.
Yeah, and their booties lifted
their
up a
booties
little
just a
bit.
little bit.
So it's not doggy style. It's kind of like you took a dog and you ran a truck over it and then you fucked it. Oh, hold on. Hold on. That's not what I meant. That is not what I meant. You took a girl in doggy style and just squished her down gently into the mattress. But
Okay.
her booty was a little bit high.
Prone bone. And what was the one you just said? Bored and ignored.
bored and ignored, yeah.
Mm.
And
There,
the
there really is no podcast. We're just getting some porn ideas.
So
We've done
and
this
so
before.
and so Katie has occasionally, while we were having sex, looked out the window and said, 3 squirrels, 2 birds. Nope, 4 squirrels, 2 birds. Oh, there goes a bird. 4 squirrels, 1 bird. 4 squirrels, 4 birds. And just gave a running litany of
gross.
the wildlife in the
Oh,
backyard
Kevin had fun.
while I was enjoying her.
Mhm.
See, that's hot too. So
Oh,
because
gotcha.
you know you're at that point, is it just kind of role playing at that point? Because I'm assuming you're enjoying yourself.
Oh gosh,
You're
having
not
a great time.
Yeah,
and trying
you're not
so
really
hard.
going, oh God, here we
Right.
go again.
Trying so hard to make the focus here instead of getting like just changing the whole what's going on by getting too involved with what's going on behind me kind of thing.
Right.
But I think that's an interesting point about free use and what people think. First of all, people often think free use is just about guys getting their rocks off. And for you, free use is usually about making me come, making me feel pleasure, getting a chance to just
Get a
grope
reaction.
my body, get a reaction, make me pause and think about something other than whatever
Touch your
job
hands.
whatever job I'm doing and stuff. Saying, hey, remember us? We're pretty sexy, we're pretty fun, and here I am again,
Mhm.
all over you.
There's another component that I want to touch on though.
And then the fact that you often do sexual things or even sexual intercourse or blowjobs that doesn't have to have an orgasm for you.
Right. Often free use as portrayed is about I can have sex with her 7 times a day and have orgasms all the times I want, and it's orgasms everywhere. And I'm an anime creature actually, because I can actually have 17 orgasms a day, and all of them are like, anyway. So that's the porn portrayal, and often we have sexual interactions 10 or 12 times a day that have nothing to do, don't have an orgasm for
They're
me
erotic.
at all.
Yeah.
And sometimes, many times, don't even involve my genitals, right?
Right.
Did that cover the part that you said you wanted to?
No.
Okay. Well, they need to talk too because it's their podcast.
Are there any other areas or things that you wanted to cover?
Now that you mention it. Well, there's a couple things. One is that a fun way to free use for me is I will get a bunch of gamers dice, right, in various sizes,
Mhm.
and I will figure out that the least I ever want to roll is like a 15. and the most I ever want to roll is like a 45 or something, right?
Okay.
The geek's coming out.
And
Yeah.
so I will get together this bundle of dice, and then I will roll them, and I will set my timer to whatever that is. And when the timer goes off, I go and do something to her. I make her blow me for a few minutes,
Oh,
or I get down and I start licking her, or I grab her boobs, and sometimes I will say each one of those interactions is 2 or 3 minutes.
Right.
Like it doesn't get to be a 45-minute thing, right? It's a
Right.
short little interaction. And then when I'm done, I go roll the dice and set my timer again. And so through the whole day, we're having random encounters set by a timeline of the dice. So it might be 20 minutes, it might be 28 minutes, it might be 37
And
minutes.
she doesn't know.
And she doesn't know
and you don't actually know.
until I roll the
Until they
dice.
roll the dice.
But then you set the timer. And
I set the
forget.
timer and I go do something.
We're
Right.
I-
If we know them and not heard of this game, so we can steal it.
You know what you're doing here is this is mindfulness through fucking.
right.
Right.
But it really
This
is.
awesome.
Bizarrely enough, this is truly a mindfulness practice to say, let me be in this moment. I'm busy on the computer and you're off there
Doing my things.
making meatloaf and
Or cookies or-
All right, now we're gonna stop that. We're gonna what is the productivity timer? Every 20 minutes you take a break.
Like
Yeah,
the
there's-
Podromo time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
so Katie, do you hear the timer when it goes
No,
off, or does
no.
he just
Well, depending
come
on
get you?
depending on
It
where
might
we
be.
live.
Yeah,
But it's been very good for when we had very separate busy days, but we were in the
Yes.
same household.
right.
And that was an amazing situation because we would maybe not be even bumping into
I'd
each other.
be upstairs working
Oh,
on
yeah.
email and should be down in the kitchen and should hear me down the stairs and should be like, here's my boobs. Nope, this isn't a boobs one. I've changed my mind. Right.
I really
That's
don't. I
fun.
picture that. That does sound fun, but do you ever I picture Dawn being annoyed by that situation?
I think that there's,
Oh, that's because I get wrapped up in my stuff, but I also like the randomness of the things that we do. So would I get annoyed? It depends if I was in the middle of editing something and in my hyper focus thing.
Yes.
But I would absolutely work at making that work for us for our intimate moments.
Mhm.
And Katie's obligation is to
Yes.
drop everything
Yes.
and be there in the moment and enjoy the moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can, if she seems to be still involved in whatever she's doing, I
Uh-huh.
can decide whether, oh, this is a fun kind of bored and ignored. She's still going to be stirring that cookie
I'm
batch.
cooperating.
And I'm just going to enjoy her body and see if I can distract her over the next 3 minutes.
So we have to figure out how to put my laptop on the dining room table so that I can still type while you're fucking me from behind.
Right. Or
That's where
I can say, I'm taking this time. I am not letting you be distracted. You are going to focus on me. And then I can just put her on her knees and get her face in my crotch or some other thing that means she is disconnected and mind for that.
this is actually why the standing desk was created.
Right.
But they had it too high. It's supposed to be you're supposed to be bent over
A little
halfway.
bit,
Right.
yes.
So it could be interesting for us because I do get hyper focused in
Yes.
it. Well, both of us do. We both get hyper focused in stuff.
It is
And yeah.
super fun when she's doing dishes to sit with my back against the cabinets and my face in her crotch and have her do dishes
Over top of him.
Oh.
over top of me while I'm licking her. And I end up with suds all in my hair, but it's super fun.
You wonder why he smells lemony fresh quite often.
Like she gets the benefit of dishes and I get the benefit of it.
Love dishes.
There could be some cool Pavlovian thing going on there. It's like,
Right.
can I do more dishes?
How come every time I think of dishes, my plate gets hard? I don't
Right.
know.
The funny thing is that it's, we started this topic with, oh, this is just fun and sexy. And it is fun and sexy, but it sounds like a legitimate intimacy tool.
Yes.
That's the second piece I wanted to hit, is the people in Reddit, the people that talk about free use entirely miss the fact that it isn't mostly about sex. Let me say that differently.
Mm-mm. It's bigger than that.
It is often the case that as a partner starts interacting with their partner sexually, or even let's back up from there. It is often the case that if I want to stroke Katie's shoulder and look in her eyes and say, I love you, darling, and kiss her on the forehead, that she starts to wonder, is this going to turn into like in a regular relationship? Not in our
Right,
relationship.
right,
In a regular
right. I
relationship,
getcha. Yeah.
the initiating
What's the
of
point of the touch?
the initiating of affection starts to bring concern that it might be an attempt at sex.
Right.
Mhm.
Oh, if you're rubbing my back, maybe that's an attempt at sex. Or if I sit in your lap and we kiss a couple times, I might end up being expected to provide sex. I can call Katie in and say, sit in my lap, make out with me for 2 minutes, and it allows us to be intimate. And whether it turns into sex or not, doesn't matter. I can make it turn into sex, or I can ignore that and just have that intimate time, which means we have many opportunities for intimacy. And she has no reason to have a concern that, oh, I wonder if this time he's trying to manipulate me into
It's not that I
sex.
wouldn't want it.
Well, but
I understand.
but
In terms of
in a normal
obligation of
relationship,
time,
in a
yes.
normal relationship, a back rub is foreplay.
And between the four of us, how many of us have been in relationships like that?
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Right?
And-
I mean, yeah, get that touch and go, oh crap, here we go.
Mhm.
Right? Because it becomes like that touch becomes an expectation
Yeah.
or something,
Or-
manipulation,
Or it's a
something.
warning sign that the other person's horny and you have to decide whether or not to allow them to
Yeah.
Oh,
proceed.
yeah.
the struggle.
It's all about like weird, complicated manipulation and power struggle. I'm gonna do this thing to feel out whether or not now's a good time. Oh, I can tell he's feeling out whether this is a good time.
Right.
Right.
Fuck all that, right?
Yeah.
So we have the opportunity to pause and hug and kiss a couple times. And whether or not it turns into sex has nothing to do with the fact that we've just had an intimate moment.
Yeah.
And so I get the and she isn't afraid to come up to me for a hug for fear she might give a signal that she's ready.
Right.
I don't give a fuck if she gives a signal that if she comes up and gives me a hug and I get hard, I can say, wow, that was sexy. I got hard. And then we can go our separate ways because I get hard 15 times a day
Right.
and only very occasionally actually turn it into anything.
You don't have to grab that opportunity in case you miss
Oh,
out
yeah, it's
Right.
like now or never.
on the sign.
Right.
Right.
In
So,
fact, one of the outcomes from that is I probably choose to orgasm much less often.
He does, yeah.
Because I could orgasm anytime I wanted.
And it keeps you hornier.
And it keeps me hornier. So I'm more interested in enjoying her throughout the day
yeah.
if I haven't like come the 17 minutes before when my alarm went off.
Right.
It's like, fuck those dice. I just
Right.
had an orgasm.
I just had an orgasm. I've stopped rolling the dice.
So, Dan, I think we've been free use and not known it.
Yeah, I don't think we use that
We
terminology.
don't use that terminology.
And
but
you actually remind me multiple times. And it's an interesting challenge. Dawn tells me all the time. I love the idea that you just gotta come over, take me, fuck me, come or not come, and then go on about your day.
flip me over the arm of the couch and just do your will. And no, it doesn't have to be an orgasm. I don't have to orgasm. It is just that intimate moment and I'm available anytime he wants it. That is a service that I love to give and I enjoy it. And it is phenomenal.
You know how most people, or how many people carry like a hand sanitizer, little carabiner on there?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be, I keep thinking what I need is a little lube carabiner, so I can unclip it, go and get myself ready, and 30 seconds later be fucking her,
Don't get them mixed up.
right?
Ask me why I say that. It has happened. And you start saying, whoa, that's starting to feel a little funny. Oh, hey, oh, what happened?
Wow.
Yes, don't get them,
Is
don't
there,
get them mixed up.
Katie, can you initiate sex?
I can initiate affection and I can say, I'd love an orgasm or yeah, absolutely. That is always open to me. It's also open to him to say, go away, you little slut, I'm busy. That's one thing I think is rejection is not rejection. Rejection is often just always includes appreciation for my approach, my affection, my interest, And then if he says, if it's not that right time for him yet, he'll always give me something there and then disengage in a way that is very dynamic based. So it still feels really hot and really
Okay.
appreciated. It's like, you know, it'll be like, I love it when you're horny like this. Let's meet a little bit later on that or whatever, right? Let me finish this or whatever. And so, yeah, I absolutely, that is open to me. It's not a one-way door knocking for sure. I think that one of the things that I wanted to go back and, oh, sorry, I have rings that bang and I get in trouble all the time.
We've been doing this podcast for 15 years. You think you'd know that by now?
Yes. You said something about would she be annoyed? I think.
Yes.
I think you'd be
She was in the
interrupted
middle of-
and
right,
annoyed and
yeah.
stuff. And I think that is an essential part of this being real and working is what I do mindfully when this is all going on, because I am a very productive person. And when Kevin comes up to me, anytime he comes up to me in the day, I have a sequence of 7 things I'm either going to be doing or in the middle of doing. So, and I know we've been doing this for 21 years. I know when he comes up and he's like under my shirt and I'm having to stop whatever I'm doing or pause or be more cautious. The thing that used to go through my head is more automatic now is what is really important.
Yeah.
If I start to push back on this, it's going to change our dynamic. It's going to change how sexy he feels. It's going to change how sexy I feel because he's not going to interact in the same way. Like this is so critical to who we
And
are.
do we want your mood
Yes.
to influence my ability to make decisions?
Yeah. And so I always, no matter what, I have to, because I'm so industrious and I'm a very busy person, I have to say, what is really important? I love him. I love sex with him. I love the intimacy we've had all these years. I love that he's still attracted to me and still wants me. And so that's priority 1. And it doesn't matter if I ruin the cookies or whatever it might be, or, you know, I have to reheat the hot water for washing. I sound like a slave.
You do. But finish scrubbing out the chimney, hey?
Yeah. Finish vacuuming the car some other time. So that is, I think that it's more than just sex for sure. It is incredible amount of being aware of the dynamic and what our priorities and values are as well.
And it's super important to me that it's the freedom to be intimate and loving and not have it be a warning sign that there might be more coming.
Absolutely. So cool. All right. Well, I got a question think about the 21 years. Have you been free use all 21 years? Yeah. So you started out that way, kind of.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know that we had the term until, 10 years ago or something.
Yeah.
But
Right. So think of all those years. Oh, this is going to be a hard question. Maybe what was your favorite moment or your hottest moment?
I got one.
Or the naughtiest thing that you did, or the naughtiest place. You can put this in whatever category you want. What pops out?
Okay, I'm not going to look for the mostest. I'm going to, what came to my head right away. I was vacuuming a very long set of stairs and we had a big house and I was vacuuming the stairs and Kevin jumped up above me in the stairs, standing on the rails, straddling the staircase, and dropped his pants, and he was at the right height for me to be on the stairs. I have a picture of my vacuum in my hand, and I'm blowing him. Yes, he took the picture.
He took the picture
while he was balancing on the railings of the stairs. And
so I had
Nice.
I had a pair of pants draping off of one leg that I took off while in that position. It was parkour death-defying, like
blowjob.
Why do you guys do body weight exercises so that you can straddle stairs and get a blowjob?
So that I can jump the railing and suspend myself over a staircase.
So for people that might be new to free use, rate these free use. This is a good free use situation on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being this is a great free use situation, 1 being bad free use situation. Okay. Watching porn.
That's pretty lame.
Well, what's your number?
Oh, okay.
In terms of whether it's a good time for free use?
Yeah.
5.
Okay. What'd you say, Katie?
2. It's just like, that's kind of distracting to me.
Playing a 2-person board game.
Oh, now we're pushing. 4.
5.
Okay.
I see how this is going, but go ahead.
Cleaning chicken.
No, 0. Is there a 0?
No,
There's gotta be a
sorry.
1.
One.
Okay.
Oh, salmonella. No.
Yeah. Cleaning knives.
Oh, 5.
Wait,
Or
who's
I
cleaning
just,
the
I
knife, right?
decided I was gonna mess around. Knives are pretty hot.
Yeah.
Obviously, guys, we could keep going about this all night, but as I mentioned when we started the interview, that we'll wait till after we're done with the podcast to actually see the demo. So we'll hold off on that. You guys teach a variety of authority transfer classes, including things not sex related as well. If people want to come out to where you'll be presenting next, for example, Beyond Leather in Florida, or find you anywhere else, how do people get a hold of you?
Kevin. Okay, on
The yellow
FetLife?
Kevin.
Is that what I mean?
However you want to do it.
Okay, so I'm _ Katie on FetLife.
and I'm _Kevin_ on FetLife.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that good enough?
And we're
Or do you want
also
more?
going to be at Beyond Leather in May.
We're teaching free use at the Woodshed in May.
Oh, fantastic.
Nice.
Perfect.
So the Woodshed's in Orlando
Yeah.
for anybody listening to that. So never mind. I was gonna say, what? Wait, we should go and see that class. Oh, wait, we just
far
had
away.
it.
But we could go, Dawn, except let's see if Florida's in the list.
No.
Tucson,
Maryland,
Ohio,
Pennsylvania,
Indiana,
Chicago,
Michigan.
and Kansas City so far. Wait, and Las Vegas.
Oh my gosh, in Las Vegas.
Indeed. So keep up with all our events, book news, discounts, and more via the Erotic Awakening newsletter.
And get your EA shout outs like Minx from Atlanta
Hallie from Wisconsin.
and Katie from Colorado.
Head over to eroticawakening.com and subscribe today. So Dan, last week I was fiddling around on the old internet webs. And for some reason, it popped a link to me. It thought I wanted to read this article, which has to do with BDSM and kink. And I was like, why is it thinking I need this? So obviously it's listening to me. But it's an article from Men's Journal that is titled Top Kinks for Couples in 2024. And what it did was it broke it down between Gen Xers, Gen Zers, millennials, and things like that. And I kind of was like, oh, what does the Men's Journal have to say? And how did they research this? Well, actually, it was Bumble, the app, that did the quote research. They surveyed over 4,000 users in their annual Year in Love report. And I wanted to share the results about what they think is kinky, because this was interesting.
Okay.
All right. So it seems that Gen Z, and I should have got the years together for what this is, but most people know what this is. Gen Z seem to be much more tame, preferring sexual activities such as bathing together, sex in the shower, at-home spa days, and cuddling.
Ooh, kinky.
Woo,
It is erotic and intimate.
right, but not kinky.
Kinky is usually a little off to one side, you know,
Yeah.
but yeah, these
Yeah,
are all
so-
wonderful things.
So this is how, yeah. So, and
Yeah.
it says that Gen Z respondents were also more hesitant to introduce sex toys into the bedroom. At just 43% compared to 54% of millennials and Gen Xers. I think they're interviewing the wrong people, or I'm just in a different crowd of Gen Xers,
Well,
right?
whoever does Bumblebee is just a specific
Yeah,
group,
That's
right?
what I'm thinking, is that Bumble might be a little more tame.
I don't know what a Bumble is.
It's the Bumble app. So isn't the Bumble
Oh.
app the one where women have to reach out to the men
I don't know what
that
I
men
don't know.
can't do?
I don't know what a Bumble is.
I think that is. So it's kind of like OkCupid,
Okay.
except it's called Bumble, right?
Okay.
So they're saying that for 54% of the millennials and Gen X couples, pink fuzzy cuffs landed at the top of the list for kink.
Specifically.
Specifically, pink
I
fuzzy.
remember that time we tried
cuffs.
black fuzzy cuffs, and I was like, I'm just not.
Never again. Never again.
I don't think I
Black
can
fuzzy
get there.
cuffs.
Okay, so all right, so that's what they think is kinky, is pink fuzzy cuffs.
Okay.
Okay, so obviously they are not in our world.
Or they're
But
just
the-
starting at the front.
Or they're just starting. That is true. That is true. But then they went into favorite sex positions. So it was revealed that kneeling, 74%.
Are
Not
they
doggy
saying-
style, but kneeling.
But are they saying certain sex positions are kinky? Like
No,
position?
no, they've
I
just
think-
moved
I
here
think
to the
I
favorite
think
sex
they-
position.
Oh, okay.
Favorite
Okay.
sex positions, but I think it seems to be coming across anything that's not missionary is kinky. So
So-
kneeling at 74%, and I'm not exact, so does that mean blowjobs?
It
mean,
sounds
how
like
else
it's probably
do you-
doggy style. but they're
No,
trying
it's
to make it
not
more-
doggy
I think it's
style.
doggy style.
Doggy style is separate. Doggy style is at the end. Because America's least favorite sex position are apparently doggy style,
Lies.
69, and anal.
Anal's
I didn't know
not what?
anal
What is
isn't a
this?
position.
All right, anal's not a sex position. I understand why 69 is.
I
not so
understand
popular.
69.
Lot
Too
of
much
logistics. there.
thinking and logistics and things like that. I don't particularly like 69 either. So I end up losing concentration.
What are the top 5 kink preferences across all responders?
Are you asking her?
Continuing after orgasm,
Kinky, not.
doing it on a balcony,
Okay, I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
depends if
Little
someone's watching.
exhibitionism.
Yeah. Having sex while playing video games. We
talked about
we
that.
just talked
Yep.
about that one. Waking each other up with oral sex.
Mm.
Yeah, I guess that could be, especially if it falls into free use. Working out together while naked,
What?
but that's not even. I don't.
Adorable.
Adorable. Okay, we're gonna use that word.
This is what happens when you let AI write articles, I think.
So
Well,
yeah,
that might be true.
it could be. It could be because I think people are much naughtier than what's being said here.
Well, certainly the people on our Discord are naughtier than that. So Kevin and Katie, if you would come around to this side of the table, we're going to show you what people send us, and you can tell people about
So
it.
this is on the.
Don't start here.
This
Oh,
is
we've
on
already
the
done these,
patron
right?
site.
Yes,
oh,
we've already done
That's a
these.
cutting, yeah. So this is on our patron site. Pictures not safe for work.
Yes. So first, Kevin, Enigma sends this one.
Oh, this one.
That one?
Yes. The tentacles. So hot or not hot? Is that what you're asking?
No, I
Dan?
want him to describe it.
Oh,
What's that cartoon with Danny? Ben 10. Female big-breasted Ben 10 getting tentacle assaulted.
I don't know that she's being assaulted. I think she's the assaulter there.
Maybe?
She's
Yeah.
a little
Maybe.
aggressive looking.
She's opening her labials.
So that's true. She's not being,
she's inviting.
inviting.
Yes.
Okay.
Somebody
Um,
knocked on her door and she opened.
I specifically did it in this particular way so that Katie could describe this one. Oh, not this one. Damn it. You got off lucky.
What? I got off lucky?
Oh, you'll see why.
Okay, this is a devilish woman who has gotten really badly sunburned. And she's really, really naughty, except she's embarrassed about her nipples, so she has to put little pasties on her nipples.
All right.
But it's
Kevin?
very devilish.
Now that is an interesting tat. It's still not the one we're looking for.
It's a tattoo of an octopus grabbing hold of a regular puss.
Pussy.
It's an octopussy.
Yes, this one's from Enigma. I take it to be the octopus's mouth is right where this young
Yeah.
lady's.
And they have sharp,
Vagina
little, sharp
is.
little beaks.
Right.
Oh,
But
Very nice tattoo.
Unfortunately, it's been censored, and so you can't see the sharp little beak the way you'd
Right.
really prefer to.
And then Enigma sent this one, and I'm glad we rolled back.
So Minotaurus sent that one.
Yep, and we rolled back to Katie.
We did?
Oh.
Oh, that is a lot of breasticles. Breasticles and tentacles. She has got 6 boobs.
Yes,
Six
six
And
boobs,
they
a
are
lot of
turgid.
tentacles.
And even her tentacles are turgid. Everything is rigid and pumped up, and she's got a devilish smile. And
I
I'm not
don't know
sure
what
where
to
you
make of
start with that girl.
The six-breasted whore of Babylon.
You'd have to
Ooh.
titty fuck her while she like pegged you in the ass with one of those little appendages.
You know, I was enjoying this picture until now. Thank you.
That's the only option.
And then finally, I did get some food on boobs. A really interesting article that we were sent. The most fuckable pastas from
Fuckable pastas,
Pornhub.
were those are in like tubes
They're in
and
fleshlight.
wow.
yeah, they're in fleshlights.
Oh.
And so you
Would be
pack a
expensive.
fleshlight with pasta, and then sink a wank into it and see which one feels best.
If you have gluten allergies, does this affect you in any way?
I don't know. I don't know.
I will tell you that
Make sure you
some,
don't eat it after
some things
fuck.
do come through the membrane
is
of the
true.
penis. I
That-
know
Which
that now.
one did you choose? What kind of pasta?
A nice fettuccine alfredo.
Oh, of course. I thought maybe rigid Tony.
Rigid Tony.
Be a part of the Erotic Awakening Podcast community.
You can support us on Patreon and get early access to the podcast, a free version of the audiobook, Polyamory Toolkit, free ebooks, member-only Discord, and more.
Find all the goodies at patreon.com/Erotic Awakening today.
Help others find us. Take a moment to support the podcast. Rate us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you listen.
Or just tell your friends if you have lots of them.
Join the conversation with us and other listeners. Use the link from the Erotic Awakening website for our growing Discord channel.
Feel free to reach out to us.
Contact us with questions, podcast comments, or just to say hi.
We are Dan and Dawn on FetLife.
And Erotic Awakening on Instagram.
And they totally forgot about my meatloaf.
Oh, the meatloaf.
I don't want to share that wonderful meatloaf. I don't want, unfortunately for us, nobody actually listens to this part of the show.
Yes,
If
I know.
you are listening to this
It's
part
like
of the
watching a
show,
Marvel movie and then the superhero comes out and he's a big rock and he has a little blooper at the end, right?
Or
no,
something
that's the
like-
good part of the superhero movies.
Yes.
This is the part they've already moved on and they're listening to,
Popcorn crunch under their feet.
I can't think of any other podcast at the moment.
Oh,
I was thinking more along the lines of the Wait, Don't Tell Me from NPR.
Oh, okay. All right.
If you're still listening to this, oh listeners, contact us and get a free piece of Katie's amazing meatloaf.
Oh my gosh, that
And
was so
hope to hell this isn't 10 years later.
Yes. It may just be a picture of the meatloaf.
You need to tell them that that's my pussy they're talking about, actually.
Oh, trust me, after putting yourself out there as the free use person, you're gonna get some messages on that. Bye, Dawn.
Bye, Dan. Bye, Kevin and Katie.
See ya.